All right, we're going live now, a little later than the 10:30 I had thought. So right now, I don't know if you all can hear, well, that's just an airplane, but there's also a helicopter above me because that's just a news chopper, but I am at the former school where Prince William County, it looks like, based on that bus, is here investigating. Okay, it looks like a police car is just leaving as well. Police SUV is leaving. Manassas Park Police car is leaving. I can't see, there's a police SUV. I can't tell if that's also Manassas Park. An unmarked car is also, it looks like a lot of the police are actually leaving right now. I'm seeing 2 marked police cars and 2 unmarked police cars. Oh, okay, there's a 5th police SUV leaving. The mobile, like, bus, thing, the evidence unit, I don't know what the actual name is still here though. Okay, I did not see Nadia. All right, so I can I'll answer some questions real quick. Somebody asked if I saw Nadia in court. I did not see Nadia in court, but she could have been there. I'm not sure. Viv says that they found something earlier. I don't know that. Like I said, I don't know much about what's going on here. As soon as we got out of the hearing, I saw a notification that there was a search happening here. We're about 15 minutes away from the court. So instead of doing the live outside of the courtroom, I decided to just drive down here. Okay, so Viv says you've been here and you saw. All right. Okay. So, yeah. So, I don't know. So, I mean, it looks like there's 2 news cameras here right now from what it looks like. When I left the courthouse, Holly Worth and, was giving a press conference for the cameras there. So I don't know if that group, the group of people who are in the courtroom today, if they're going to be coming over here after they're done with the reporters there. But yeah, right now it's like a couple neighbors, it looks like, and, a few other folks around here. Okay, yeah, so okie dokie. So the question is, did they accept to waive the grand jury? Yes, so let's talk about what happened in this hearing. Okay. All right, so as if you saw my earlier 2-minute live, the hearing got delayed from 10 o'clock. It starts almost noon because the defense forgot to ask for a Nepali interpreter. Now, as I said before, yes, Naresh speaks English. However, it is not his primary language. So he has an interpreter just to ensure to everybody's satisfaction that he does know what is happening in these court proceedings. We don't, nobody wants him to come back later and say, hey, I didn't know what was going on and there's a mistrial or an appeal or whatever. So that's what's going on. So that's why we started late. But we did get the interpreter, so we started. The judge, by the way, fed up with all the spectators. He was very irritated. I was in the courtroom before 10 o'clock and he was like, and a lot of people were waiting out in the hall, and he was like, if they can't be quiet, I'm going to clear the hall. Judge Carol Weimer Jr. is who the judge was in this case today in circuit court. So the first thing that happened was Naresh Bhatt was led into the courtroom. And he definitely looks different. He was still in the orange jail jumpsuit with, it sounded like ankle shackles. I was actually 2 rows behind him, so I was closer to him and on the same side of the courtroom, and I could hear the ankle shackles, so I didn't notice that before. He's gotten a haircut, he's growing a beard, and he definitely looks like he's lost weight in the past couple weeks that he's been in jail. Yeah, I heard there's a search at a nearby church. Yeah, this is the old Manassas Christian School where we are right now. And there is currently a search going on. So that is where I am at the moment. Now, okay, this is just all the interpreter stuff. Sorry. Excuse me. Okay, so basically this whole hearing boiled down to scheduling. So as I kind of guessed, the reason why the defense wanted to waive the grand jury is because they believe that the Commonwealth is going to get an indictment. And if they waive it instead of waiting until October, then that is going to force the Virginia speedy trial clock to start, and that is going to get Naresh's trial started faster, which the defense is using as a tactic in their defense. So their strategy right now is to get him to trial as quickly as possible, to give the prosecution less time to get a strong case together. And I put this in a previous text post. Oh God, this car's like backing like right up into me. Hold on. All right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Jeep. So I put this in one of my previous text posts that the defense wanted this trial to start on December 16th. Like, they wanted this to be December 16th to like December 20th. This was before we actually got into the real hearing. And the Mr. Sweet, who was the Commonwealth's attorney, was like absolutely nuts. So once we got to the real hearing, the defense actually did ask for the trial to start in December. Mr. Sweet was like, no, we do not. That is hamstringing the prosecution's case. He said, listen, we understand that, there's a speedy trial rule here, but we're not doing it in the middle of this like speedy trial window. He's like, we want it to be as close to the end as possible because we have a case to build. First of all, he also did, thank you. He also did object to the idea that today's hearing started the speedy trial clock, because what he was saying is that in the statute, the Virginia speedy trial statute, he was saying that the speedy trial clock starts once probable cause is found via a preliminary hearing or when an indictment is handed down by the grand jury. And he said Mr. Bott waived both of those. He waived his preliminary hearing, and now he's waiving his grand jury. So guess what? He waives his statutory right to a speedy trial as well. So Mr. Sweet, the Commonwealth's attorney, was trying to argue that because Mr. Bott's, trying to waive all of this stuff, that he actually doesn't get that statutory protection of that 5-month speedy trial clock. So that was his argument. The judge ultimately decided against that argument and said that him waiving the grand jury actually does make it kind of a de facto indictment. So he agrees that the speedy clock trial would start today. Now, given that means, and they don't do it by months, they do it by days. And so the Commonwealth's attorney was saying 150 days from now, that would put us at the very beginning or very end of January, beginning of February. So he was trying to get the trial to set, because he thinks it's going to be a 6-day trial. He thinks that it's going to go into a second week once they get this scheduled. So he's like, he was trying to schedule it as late as possible. So he had asked for January 20th, but the defense said that they couldn't do January 20th because although Mr. Ben Alverham, who has been Naresh's lawyer who's represented him in the other hearings, he was not in attendance today. It was another attorney named Miss Lennox. She was like, listen, Ben Alverham has another, big jury trial that same week. He's the only one in our office who has done any work on this case. So he has to be the one who tries it. So there was a lot of back and forth between the prosecution and defense and dates. And then she really, Miss Lennox with the defense was really trying to go for that December date, and they were just like, absolutely not. So at one point she was trying to do like December or January 6th, and again, you know. Anyway, long story short, they couldn't come to an agreement. So they kicked the whole thing over to September 16th. And this is what I said in my last video. So if you look online, there are motions, there's a hearing scheduled for September 13th. And those motions are for an ex parte judge and for discovery. Both of those motions have been moved to 9/16 at 9 a.m. That's when we'll be back in court, and that is when the official trial date will be set. But based on everything I heard today, it does look like it's going to be toward the end of January. But that also means that the speedy trial clock is not actually starting today. It is going to start on September 16th. So they'll have about 150 days from then to get this trial started. So we'll know the dates in about a week and a half. Let me see. And again, just a few notes that I made here, that Mr. Sweet, the Commonwealth's attorney, said that to set it sooner, and this is a quote, to set it sooner handicaps the prosecution's case, end quote. And he did come out and say specifically that this was a tactic that the defense was using so that they, meaning the prosecution, couldn't get their case together as much as they needed to. And Mr. Sweet also said that they have witnesses coming in from out of state and out of the country. Now, they didn't say who, and, you know, we haven't had discovery yet, so we have no idea who's being called as a witness, but out of the country. So to me, that means Nepal. So we know that that Mamta's mother and brother are here. We don't know if that means that, you know, they're just saying in case they're back in Nepal by then, we want them to make sure that they can be here to testify. We don't know if they could be calling Naresh's parents as witnesses, because remember, there's that February 24th incident where the cops got called to her house. And, you know, the story goes that, according to Mamta's parents, that it was Naresh's mother-in-law who helped beat her that day. So they might be called in all this from Nepal. And a lot of people have been asking me about Naresh's parents, where they are, and the answer is Nepal. So we don't know if, you know, they're getting called as witnesses, but the prosecution did say that they're anticipating on calling witnesses who are not in the country. So that's basically it. So let's go ahead. I haven't looked at the questions. I've just seen a lot of scrolling. Let's get into questions here. Okie dokie. Okay. Was Mamta's mom there today? I'm not sure. Like I said, there was a large group of people. I'm not sure if Mamta's mom was one of them. Okay. Oh, everyone is asking about Nadia. I'm going to do a whole separate video on Nadia, but I'm not the target audience for all of this, like, Nadia needs to be investigated stuff. Like, babe, it's not me. So we'll talk about all that later. I don't really want to get into it now. Why are cops not using third-degree treatment on Naresh? Because it's unconstitutional. Everyone's saying that my brother were here today. Yeah, I honestly would not know. Like I said, I was not waiting with the main group out in the hallway. I went straight into the courtroom during the previous case. So I was in the courtroom during the previous case. I was in the courtroom while we were waiting, watching that same case while we were waiting for Naresh's hearing to actually start after they found the interpreter. So I wasn't with the group at all. So I'm not sure who really was in attendance. I saw Holly Worth, but beyond that, I couldn't tell you. Okay. Can you show where police are searching today? Yeah, let me go ahead and oh shoot, I don't want to end, hold on. I almost ended the live. All right, let me see if I can flip this camera around here. All right, hold on, my focus is not gonna work. Oh God. I'm gonna flip this camera around here. All right, hold on, my focus is not gonna work. Oh God. I'm gonna flip this camera around here. All right, hold on, my focus is not gonna work. Oh God. Hey, sorry about that, guys. Hold on. Sorry, I'm back. My phone got too hot and it shut off. But I'm back. So yeah, let me show you where we are right now. More people are showing up. All right. Sorry, I need to get my key. All right, hold on 1 second. Putting the phone down. Sorry about that. I'm back. Okay, how about now? Can you guys hear me? Still no sound? Wait, you can hear me? Yes. Okay, good. I thought pausing it might help. Yeah, I turned my car off. So, all right, let me flip the camera back around. Y'all don't need to be looking at me right now. So, yeah, so you can see, got a reporter there. These are just, it looks like neighbors. And then the cameras are set up over here. Evidence van. And while I did see 5 police cars leave, there are still several parked here. And then here you can see the news chopper flying around too. Yeah, so this is the old Manassas Christian School. From what I understand, the school is closed. So it looks like they're probably searching back here behind the trees. Yeah, so we are at Manassas Christian School where there is a search taking place. Obviously, we don't know what they're searching for. We don't even really know if this is connected to Mamta. But look, another police car is coming, pulling in right now. But my house do one day. Is this related to Mamta? We don't know yet. We don't know if they've gotten the vehicle results or the DNA results yet either. And yes, is all within walking distance to Mamta's home. Yes, it's a news helicopter. Oh, WSA 9 has said that it is. Search remains. All right, thank you. So, thank you for letting me know that. Like I was saying before, I was in the courthouse when all this was happening, so I couldn't have my phone on me, so I wasn't sure exactly what was going on. And the last thing that I had seen before I got in the car and headed over was that it wasn't confirmed. Thank you. They said remains specifically, not evidence. That's obviously huge news. Do I live here?
You on TikTok.
Oh yeah, I live in Loudoun County.
Oh, you live in Loudoun County?
Yeah.
Oh, I live right next to right here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I live here.
Oh yeah.
Good to see your updates every time, right?
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Do you know, did they find anything else here?
I don't know. I mean, people, because I was in the courtroom, and so I didn't.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, I was there.
Too, right?
Yeah. So I mean, so I didn't hear about this because this was happening while we were in court.
Yeah.
And then, so the last thing I heard before I drove over was that it wasn't confirmed if it was related to Mamta, but now somebody's saying that USA 9 is saying that it is.
It is, yeah.
That police did confirm it?
Yeah, someone told me that something's
Yeah.
here, so.
And that they said that they're specifically looking for remains and not for evidence. So, I don't know.
Let's see what they come up with.
So you know the area better than I do, because like I'm in Loudoun.
Exactly, yeah.
So I mean, how deep do these woods go? I mean,
I had never been there.
No.
Yeah, I have never been there. Maybe there's another road.
yeah,
I don't think 7-Eleven. It goes all the way up.
all the way to the 7-Eleven? Oh, okay.
You work there?
Yeah. See, she knows what's going on.
She's my wife, by the way.
Nice to meet you. And is that your daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, what a sweetie. Yeah, so I expect everybody from the courthouse will probably end up over here. Okay, so let's talk about the court hearing. Basically, what happened after all the interpreter nonsense is, one, what happened is that the defense forgot to ask for the interpreter. So that led it all to being delayed until about noon. And then when we finally got it started, there were arguments between the defense and the prosecution about whether or not him waiving the grand jury starts the clock on the speedy trial. The judge ultimately ruled that it does. So the speedy trial clock, which is 5 months from the indictment, was originally going to start today, but the defense and prosecution could not agree on setting a trial date. So everything got kicked to September 16th. So there was supposed to be a hearing on a few motions September 13th. Those have also gotten kicked to the 16th. They're just going to do everything then. So we're going to hear a couple motions on the 16th in court, and then we are going to, then we're going to find out exactly what the dates are. The court dates are for the trial are going to be toward the end of January. We do know that much. So it could be starting on the 21st of January or the week after. More likely the week after, from what it sounds like, just due to scheduling issues. So that's kind of what we're looking at. We also learned that the prosecution is planning on calling witnesses that are not in the country. So I don't know if that means, Mamta's parents, in case like her mom and her brother, perhaps go back to Nepal between now and then, or if it's referring to the in-laws, to Naresh's parents, who are currently in Nepal. Sorry, the sun is like getting to me. I'm trying to find my shade again. So we don't know if it's referring to them or not. So it is possible that we could see Naresh's parents as witnesses, because don't forget, in that February 24th police incident at their house, what did they call it in court? Disorderly, because they didn't call it a domestic call, but they called it disorderly. But according to Mamta's father, Naresh's mother and Naresh both beat Mamta. So yes, the grand jury is waived. We are not doing a grand jury at all. We are proceeding directly to trial, which will be early 2025. Okay, there's a press release from police. So they're searching the school where I am right now and Blooms Park. And if you remember, Blooms Park is a park right by their house, and my husband and I, that's how we got involved in this case, is we attended one of the civilian searches in Blooms Park, I guess 3 weeks back now. So what's happening on September 16th is another hearing. It's going to be a couple motions, and we're going to officially set Naresh Bhatt's trial date. The trial was going to be public regardless. What we don't know yet is if it's going to be a jury trial or a bench trial. So we'll probably find that out on the 16th as well. Yes, Mamta's mom and brother are with the baby here in the U.S., in Virginia, but we don't know how long they're going to be staying. So I think that basically if the prosecution's planning on calling them as witnesses, they are just trying to cover their bases in case they are back in Nepal whenever this trial does start. So according to what you guys have been saying, because I was in court, so I haven't been able to see this, that they are searching for Mamta's remains here at the park behind this school. Is it true, even though he's in jail, he can fight for custody? Yeah, because he's not convicted of anything. He's a free man. He still has parental rights. But don't forget, he also told police on August 15th that he was going to try to send his baby to Nepal. So who knows if he will or not. I don't know why this park. I don't know if they've searched this park before or not. Bloom's Park has been searched. I do not know if they've been here before. They've also searched Signal Hill Park. But to my knowledge, this is a new location. We don't know about the blood results of the DNA test yet. And again, I'll just do a recap video of the hearing today after this. But let me see what time it is. Yeah, I'm only going to be able to stay here for a few more minutes because I have to get home and pick up my son. Yeah, I heard about the body in a suitcase. It was on the Long Island to New York. I don't think it's related at all. Why is there no lie detector in place? They're not admissible in court, and Naresh does have an attorney, and no attorney would tell their client to take a lie detector. They're completely voluntary. You can't force somebody to take one, and his attorney would definitely tell him not to. He did not speak today. Naresh did not speak today other than to answer the judge when, the judge asked him questions like, do you understand your rights? Do you understand, this form that you signed? Things like that. But so he said yes a couple of times, but other than that, he did not speak. Nope, no evidence was presented today. This was really just about scheduling. And then it was arguing, about the speedy trial statute a little bit, but no evidence. So we didn't learn anything new about the case other than the prosecution intends on potentially calling witnesses from out of the country. No updates on DNA either. Yes, the public can attend the trial. We don't know about the Tesla data either. Yes, he does. Yes, I did say that earlier. So Naresh today definitely looked different. And I was closer to him today than I have been at the other hearings. But he was wearing ankle shackles and the orange prison jumpsuit. He has had a haircut. He's growing a beard. And he definitely looks like he's lost weight since he's been in jail. I don't know if they've gotten the Tesla report yet. No. I had a bug in my hair. Is that what somebody said? Oh, that was a good question. Any update on his attorneys if they're a defender or paid one? Yes. So we do know that he has been represented by Mr. Ben Alverham from the Public Defender's Office. Today, it was a different attorney from the Public Defender's Office. Her name is Miss Lennox. And interestingly, because I brought this up in one of my videos over the weekend, because I was wondering if, like how he qualified for a public defender, and the judge was actually wondering that too, because remember, we're at circuit court now, and all of his other hearings were in juvenile domestic relations court. So this is a new judge that we had today, and he asked, he's like, did Mr. Bott actually like go through the application process for a public defender? Like, did that actually happen? And apparently it did. No. Any info on the defender or not? No. Here, let me flip the camera back over. Nothing news going on. More cameras. A few more people have gathered, but that's about it. Another police car arrived. We got some guys over here. I haven't seen any canine units, but like I said, I mean, I got here late, so I'm not sure. Didn't Naresh seem sad at all? No. He was unemotional, like he's been at every other hearing. Were any family members at the hearing? I wasn't with the group of people at the hearing, so I'm not sure, but some people have said that Nadia's mother and brother were there, but I don't know. I did not see Nadia, but again, that doesn't mean that she wasn't there. I wasn't with everyone. So again, we are at a park, the park that is beyond these trees, and we are at the former Manassas Christian School, where they are apparently looking for Mamta's remains. All right, I'm not talking about Nadia's interview on this. I'll do a different video about that. I mean, the interview is from like 3 weeks ago, so I don't really understand the point of it, but... I want to attend court on the 16th. How do you get in? You just go. I hope they find her. I have no idea if they will or not. It doesn't appear that police have found anything. Several police cars have left, but more have also come since then. The court date on the 16th that Naresh is having is to set his trial date and to hear a few other motions. So this user said searching your school doesn't make any sense. This school is actually not currently in use. This school has been closed. So this is, a fairly untrafficked area. We don't have any update info from the trustee, and I doubt that anybody would be releasing that until the trial. All right. I'm not seeing anybody from the courthouse over here yet. This gentleman over here was there. The trial is going to be starting sometime at the end of January 2025. But we'll have the exact date on September 16th. A quick summary of what is happening now is we are at the former Manassas Christian School, where police officers are searching for Mamta's remains in the nearby woods. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, I would agree that this person said anywhere they are searching is likely related to the Tesla findings or the phone pings. I would agree. I think tips have also been coming in, and police have said that they've been following tips as well. But yeah, I mean we know that they have had the phone information for quite a while, so that is likely based on that. Hopefully, these new searches, it does mean that there's information from the Tesla that they have gotten. So. Why is the date too far for trial? It's not. So Virginia's speedy trial rule states that the trial has to begin within 5 months of indictment. He waived his grand jury, which means he won't have an official indictment, but the judge did rule today that him waiving the grand jury and the preliminary hearing means that it's basically like a de facto indictment, and that can start the clock. So this clock was going to start today for the speedy trial rule, but now because they couldn't come up with a court date, everything's getting pushed to September 16th. So the 5-month speedy trial clock will start on September 16th, which means that the trial is likely to start at the end of January of 2025. That's not, okay. Somebody said without the body, there can't be a trial. That is not true. No body homicides are absolutely a thing. And if they go to trial, they have a higher conviction rate than a normal homicide. Somebody else asked, why does he want a speedy trial? The prosecutor, Mr. Sweet, said what I think a lot of us have been thinking is that it's a defense tactic. And the defense, they don't have... Listen, there's not much for the defense to do, quite honestly. So they don't need a lot of time to research and to prepare their case. So they want this to start as quickly as possible to prevent the prosecution from having a stronger case. So their goal this entire time with waiving all these hearings, with waiving the preliminary, with waiving the grand jury, they're just trying to get this going as quickly as possible so that the prosecution doesn't have time to get a strong case, and they're hoping that that will get them an acquittal. Manassas PD just posted a statement. They are searching multiple locations. I'm assuming that's Manassas Park PD. So it means, somebody else said, God, it just went away, but somebody else said it, so it means he won't be released till January 2025. That is true, because as of right now, we have not gotten a motion to appeal the bond decision. So yes, he, as of right now, is staying in jail until his trial, which at the earliest, it looks like will be the end of January. So he's going to be in jail for the rest of the year. I don't know if it's going to be televised. All right. Oh, I was, okay, so I was talking about the attorneys when I got disconnected. So the judge was actually wondering about that. Now, I've said that Naresh has been represented in court by an attorney with the public defender's office called Mr. Ben Alverham. And he was not there today. It was another attorney from the public defender's office named Miss Lennox. But she says that Ben Alverham is still his attorney. The judge asked, like, because I made a previous video about this, like, where I was a little surprised that he qualified for a public defender. And the judge was, because this is a brand new judge in circuit court, he was also wondering the same thing. So he asked that too. He said, Naresh, did he actually go through the process of applying for a public defender? Like, he was a little... confused on that as well, but they did confirm that he did. So apparently his financial situation is such that he does qualify for a public defender, which, going back to my last video over the weekend when we were talking about this, means that he has had quite a change in financial circumstances in the past year. All right, I need to see what time it is because I'm going to have to shoot. I got to go, y'all. Okay, listen. So here, I'm going to flip it over. But this is what's going on. I know other people are going live. The news is here. The copter's flying around. But I have got to split because I need to go get my son. So I will do a recap video later, and obviously I'll be, keeping up with the search as well. So if anybody has any other information, please feel free to let me know. But in the meantime, I am heading out. Oh my goodness. Hold on. All right, All right, guys, thank you for joining me again. Even though this wasn't scheduled and everything got confusing and delayed today. But yes, thank you for joining me again today, and I will continue to keep you updated. So everybody have a great day, and hopefully this part of it will be over soon, and let's all hope that Mamta is found. All right, thank you, everybody.